our anniversary 1 year episode of Turn of the Millennials. Woohoo! We are 1 whole years old. Happy birthday to
Yay!
us.
We're this many.
This many.
For those of you who can't see it, I'm holding up one finger. That is how old we are.
We've made it through we've made it through those crappy baby months, and now we're starting to be able to talk and move and walk a little bit on our own.
Yeah, we've gotten our legs a little bit
stronger,
we're pulling ourselves up on furniture, and
we're building
words,
building those
sentences yet.
Building muscle strength, and finding blah, blah, or those kind of things.
All right, and if you don't know yet, I'm Lindy.
I'm Stephanie.
Welcome, friends.
Welcome, friends, for the new friends and for our existing friends. Again, it's our anniversary. 1 whole year of doing this thing.
Yes. I've had a lot of fun doing this.
Right? It's been so fun.
I'm so glad you talked me into doing this. It was at first, I was super hesitant at first, right? Because I don't know, but I really enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. I can see why everybody fucking podcasts.
Well, I think at first you were more scared because you're like, I don't know the technical shit. I don't know computer stuff. And I think that's why you were more worried about it. And I was like, I just need your knowledge and your talking. Shut up.
Yeah, you're literally like, I just need the useless knowledge that's floating around in that brain of yours. That's all I need.
Because I literally said, I'm like, there's no one else in our friend group that has as much stupid, useless pop culture knowledge from our teen years and that could actually do this with me besides my sister. So,
hey.
And she comes on, and now me and her got another podcast. So she's still in the
really?
loop.
How do I not know this? Why didn't you tell me?
We told you about this. We haven't released it yet. But the manufacturer of the group, where we were doing the Pussycat Dolls one.
Oh, I didn't know that was a podcast. I didn't know that was a podcast. I thought that was just like a blog you guys were doing.
No. It's another podcast. It's going to be called Manufacturer Group, kind of like Making the Band or behind the music type thing. So we're like Manufacturer Group, and every season is going to be a different reality TV show that started it. So it started with The Search for the Girlicious is our first season.
Oh, okay, right.
Second season is a debate of whether we want to go back and do the first season where they search for the Pussycat Dolls or go back to where it all started and doing Making the Band season 1.
Making the Band.
So this is our.
But how is that even like a competition?
Right, that was my thought. I was like, why not go back to it?
Bitches,
right? So yeah, the first season, because Danielle was watching The Girlicious or something and on YouTube or something, and then she's like, I want to do a podcast, and I'm like, well, then let's go ahead and do it.
That's sick.
So,
that's
you will
pretty nifty.
Don't worry, you'll be on the O-Town stuff. I know your obsession.
Well, fuck yeah, I will be. Fuck yeah. It'll have to wait till after the move in April because all of my nostalgia stuff is all packed into a Tupperware and I can't get it right now. It's in the storage unit.
We just finished recording the Girlicious stuff, and so we haven't even released it yet. I'm still editing and that, so we've got time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Because I have to have my Jacob collab.
Of course.
That. Okay.
We have to have all Jacob.
And I have to try to find my tank top. I'm positive I still have it. Ooh, are you gonna do a Take 5 episode, whether with this podcast or the one with Danielle? Because I feel like that band needs to be covered.
We will have to do like an
unknown or like the lesser known
boy bands, because everyone knows Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees. Because remember I sent you that No Authority, and I'm like, do you remember these?
Yeah, or like VIP in My Town.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We will have an episode
of
lesser known boy bands, but we're still awesome.
You know, Tilky is a friend on my Facebook.
That's so funny.
I don't converse with him regularly, but I have talked with him.
You should, because then maybe you could get him on that episode. So, on that note, like I said, this is our anniversary episode.
Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary! Hey!
Yay! So, just to kind of go over, I guess, some kind of fun stuff, because it's like our 1 year anniversary. We're gonna go over
I should probably open up our notes on my drive,
right? How the last year has kind of fared for us. So yeah, if you guys don't know, we literally just started a podcast. Like I said, I kind of came to Lindy. I was listening to them a lot at work. And I got to a point where I was like, well, I know a lot, some of them I was listening to, I knew so much more information about the stuff than they did, and I would get frustrated with them. And I was like, well, then why can't we just do this?
I did that too.
So we decided to start our own. And I roped Lindy in, as I said earlier, with her knowledge. And here we are.
Lassoed me right in there with, all that vast knowledge in my brain that is useless.
And then
I have somewhere to put it.
Exactly. So I believe we are at almost 30 episodes in total. I think this one might be.
I think this is our 29th? No. Yes?
I think TGIF was 27.
I thought TGIF was maybe 28, or is Crossroads 28?
I think Crossroads was 28. And then we have the other one with To the Men I've Tolerated, which is the last one that just got released. So I think this is like 29 or 30, y'all.
Are we releasing them every Friday now?
No, every other Friday. I just, because of the Crossroads fell on that date, on the 14th, so I wanted to release it on that date.
So you still release 3 in a row.
No, I'm going to go back to the 2 weeks after that one.
Okay, I didn't know you released the Men I Tolerated one yesterday. I didn't know that.
I technically didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
but I know that this is going ahead, so that's why I said it.
Oh, got it. I understand.
I can cut it out, don't worry. But yeah,
that's cool.
It's releasing.
That's fine.
It's not yesterday. It releases on the 24th or
next
26th.
Friday.
Yeah, next Friday.
Like this coming Friday, yeah.
But when I knew when this one came out, I knew it was going to be the past. So that's why I said it that way. Anyway.
My bad. I should have thought of that.
We're breaking the fourth wall, guys. We break the fourth wall. It's fine. It's okay.
Oh, man. And I was up at like fucking 3:00 this morning on a day off. So whatever.
Ooh, that's no fun. Those are the worst. I hate getting up super early on our day offs.
Yeah. I can't wait to get out of this house one more fucking week.
Right.
Well, when this is released, you'll be
officially out.
It'll be the weekend.
Yeah, you'll be out.
I'll already be out once this is released. I'll be out. Yeah. But then I'll be living with my parents for 4 weeks.
It's not the end of the world, and it's only 4 weeks.
By.
Right? And it's only
we'll be like a minute away.
Right? We could just do a whole bunch of episodes all at once.
We could, and we could like totally bang out all the YouTube episodes.
Right?
With like our childhood games, which I'm so fucking down for.
I
can't wait to play little Miss Lulu.
Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in.
Oh my god, I forgot about Miss Mary Mac.
I could
totally forgot.
Because all dressed in black. Okay.
Once again, I'm rewatching Fuller House and that episode where Kimmy and Steph do but they call it Miss Susie, not Miss Lulu. Okay. But it's the same song, but slight changes. So
which
like you can tell where you grew up based on what song you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's regional. Like, so where you grew up is based on whether you had Susie or Miss Mary Mac or Miss Lulu or whatever.
Mary Mac was not the same thing as Miss Lulu.
Oh, okay.
Miss Lulu had a steamboat. Remember, Miss Lulu had a steamboat.
No,
Steamboat had a bell. Miss Lulu sat behind her. Yeah.
I don't think it was Miss Lulu. I think we had. I can't remember who it was. I think we had.
I grew up with Miss Lulu.
I think me and Danielle said something else.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm gonna have to go back and ask her
because we grew up like 3 blocks from each other. How much of a change could that have happened?
We went to the East Coast often though, because Mom's an East Coaster.
That's
so maybe
fair.
we got East Coaster. I'd have to ask her because now I'm trying to remember if it was Miss Lulu or not.
You know what? Let's contact all of like our podcaster people that we've collaborated with and see what they know.
Right?
See which song they grew up with.
Absolutely.
We could write out all the lyrics, like the whole thing, or just send us a vocal one.
Right?
Send us a voice
of them singing it together.
Of the song, and we can see how they differ through the regions.
I think this is the thing. I think we need to do this.
I think so too. I'll learn the one from Fuller House and I'll include that one too.
Or
it was kind of my inspiration. Moving on.
So, in our 1 year, basically, so like I said, we've had about 30 episodes. I think this is about 30. I think we're at 29 or 30.
We'll go with ish.
We're going to go 30-ish. Yep. So this is 30-ish. So, hey guys, that's pretty cool. Because a lot of times podcasts don't even get past 10 episodes. So we're going to 30. We're going. We only get better. We only have more fun. And like I said, we're just learning every day. And
we have so much more content.
Oh my God. We have a ridiculous spreadsheet that you don't even, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Have not even scratched the surface.
Barely a dent, guys. So we got plenty of content for y'all. And then there's also new stuff that comes out every day that can be related to this old content as well. Because we're,
reboots are constantly coming out.
Right. And we have to talk about the reboots. And I think we also need to do one about all the songs that are being remade as well. I think this is one we'll also have to try and do. But
this is going to be one of a lot of Lindy bitching about that. That's all that's going to be.
Oh, it will be me too. Because have you heard the remake of You Get What You Give?
Yes, it's so fucking stupid.
Terrible, and they take out the best fucking part of the
song. Part. The
Fashion shoots with Beckham Hansen, Courtney Love, and
Marilyn Manson.
Right? We're all fakes for 2 year man. Just come around. See, and they took it out, and it made me so mad. I was like, nope, this song is. Even if they had just updated it with new people, that still would have been fun. But that's the funnest part because it's like a
I will give you the one song though, like the one like sampled song that Train did. Play that song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Makes me go all night long. So for those of you who went to,
but
like, in the area, went to Kuwaitan, that was our Kuwaitan Girl Guide song. Like,
oh, okay.
that was
but
our
also
tone.
at the same time, that's it's not 100% a remake because it's not a
like it's
that
a sampled.
piano.
It's a sampled melody from an existing song.
Yeah, but it wasn't a song like Our Childhood that they're 100%. But we used to do the do 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 do.
I still can play. I can still play.
Yeah. I think most people, that one and Chopsticks are the two things that every kid knew how to play. Yeah. You didn't know how to play piano, but you knew those two songs. One of those two songs on a piano.
Yes,
every 90s kid. I swear, every 90s kid.
But it's like this, it was like the same how like I can't stand the song by Walk Off the Earth that sampled Old Lang Syne, the New Year's song.
Oh,
that I mentioned in our, I think one of our Christmas episodes, I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And like it would have been okay had they made it a holiday song, but they didn't. It was just sampled into just a normal everyday song, which I thought was awful.
Right. I agree.
But moving on.
So that's for another episode. So in our first year, we actually had over 900 episode listens, which I'd say for a couple girls just out of Ontario, just start a podcast. That's pretty fucking awesome.
I think that's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's not like we're famous or anything like that. I'd say that's a fucking win, guys. Almost 1,000 people listened to us in 1 year. Like,
judging to our listening locations, a lot of people around the world know who we are.
Right? That's another thing.
Okay, we famous, bitch. Even though we little bit, very low totem pole famous, we famous.
Yeah, we don't have no blue check mark yet, but we working on it. We working it.
Life goals.
Podcast goals, blue check mark, y'all.
Blue check mark, yes. So I go to my parents, we got the blue check mark, and they'd be like, I don't know what that means.
They'd be like, I have no fucking clue. Do
you know what? Up until 2 months ago, I had no idea that's what that meant.
Oh, okay. And I was gonna say, if you told your stepkids, they'd be like, y'all got a blue check mark? What the fuck? How'd you do it? Like, they'd be like, oh, I know that blue check mark. And your parents are like, what?
That'd be like telling them we have like 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Oh my god, like yeah. Anyways, so going into our listening locations, because you said we're so famous, I was quite surprised by some of these.
Yes, because I was too.
Even if there was only 1 or 2 listens from people, it was still interesting to get our range that far across the world. Like, I never thought random people in a different country would listen to us,
especially in countries we've never been. Our voices have been.
Right. Our voices have been, but we've never been. And then one of them I do also know is probably my cousin in Australia.
Yes.
So
shout out Michelle.
Thanks for listening. But and then Canada,
and anybody else, you got to listen to us in Australia.
Right. Exactly. But in like Canada, we know mostly who a lot of our Canadians are because it's us and our friends and things like that. In the US, we know a few of them, maybe not all of them, but we know a few of our US peeps that are listening. So those two
Americans.
We love you, Lindsay. And she's our Canadian junior too. We love her because she lives in like.
She's also our Girl Scout cookie smuggler.
Yes, so she's in the northern states. So yeah, we get to visit each other quite often, and yeah, she's our cookie smuggler.
Once this border mess is all like figured out, but
which is actually hopefully as of March 1st, things are relaxing. Fingers crossed.
Not holding my breath.
Well, it sounds like it because this whole convoy and then the Alberta and Saskatchewan, I think they've just decided we now need to live with COVID, which we should have done this a while ago, but that's besides the point.
I don't even want to talk about this.
I know. As I said, besides the point. So other places where we have been heard from besides Canada and the US and Australia, we have Singapore, Germany,
shout out,
Germany, Brazil, Italy, the UK, France, the Republic of Korea, Japan, Suriname, which me and Lonnie talked about this one before. I wasn't even sure where it was, but we found out it was in South America.
Yes.
Central
America?
Central or South America?
Yeah. It's to the west of French Guyana.
This is what we were like, we've never heard this place.
I've never heard of this place before. So I looked it up and that's what it told me.
And thank you for educating us, whoever was listening to it.
I cannot pronounce the capital city of that country either. It starts with a P. I can't pronounce it. But shout out to you guys. Thank you.
Right? You helped us educate us like we did not know. And now you've educated us. And
I love learning new things.
We're grateful for that. So then we also had India, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, South Africa, and Colombia.
Yay! Basically, like somewhere all around the world. Thank you so much, guys. You have no idea what this means to us.
I feel like we are literally almost on every single continent. I think so.
I believe so.
Like, that's pretty exciting for just a couple girls from KW.
It's pretty fucking awesome, I think.
Right? So, yeah. We didn't even know what to expect when we started this podcast or anything. We just decided to do it and go from there. And yeah, it's actually really, really interesting and really cool. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So moving on to our top 5 rated episodes according to
analytics
according to our analytics
on our hosting or whatever it is. So we kept getting, so this one I had to literally start checking this morning again, because like every time I would go into this list it just kept changing. There were some ties, some were going up and whatever. So as of like right before we recorded this, these were the top 5 episodes, and a few of them actually had some like there was like ties and stuff like that. So number 1 was
did you update this list here already?
Yep.
Okay, because I wasn't sure, that's why I was gonna let you say it. Okay, so our number 1 was our September 11th tribute episode. That was our number 1, which I'm kind of shocked about, to be honest.
Really?
A little bit, yeah. Because like I don't really know why I was shocked, but I was.
I just was. I'm not too sure.
I don't know why. I couldn't tell you which episode I expected to be our top episode.
Well, let me see that.
I would think maybe Ed the Sock would have been our top episode, but he didn't even place top 5.
I think that's because it's one of the issues with the app. I think it's one of the ones with the Apple Podcast issue.
Oh, because he was within our first 10 episodes or something, and
first 7, yeah. So for those of you,
he was number 6. He was number 6.
Yeah. So for those of you, I've been having some issues with Apple Podcasts. So there's actually 7 of our episodes that are currently missing on there, but I am working with Apple Podcasts to try and get those back on there. But you can find them on Spotify, you can find them on YouTube, and they are on our website. So go and listen to them. They're the Mighty Ducks.
Please go check them out.
Ed the Sock. We've got Josie and the
Pussycats was our pilot episode. Our first episode.
So go back and take a listen to them. They're not that high up there, but yeah. So
so
our second one was with our guests to the south.
Our formidable opponents. Shout out, guys.
Yep. So it was our favorite and memorable soundtrack episodes.
Yes.
So that one was actually for the 90s. That one's just kind of fun because there was.
Do you know what I'm hearing in my head right now?
What?
I love you.
It's all every time I bring it up in the episodes, it's all I hear is I love you.
Or anytime I hear it's all coming back to me, that's all I think about. I love you.
And for those of you who don't know, that wasn't in that episode, but that was an episode we did with them on their podcast about the top 90s, like the worst 90s songs ever.
Yeah.
Or videos? Was it videos? I think it was worst 90s videos, actually.
Worst 90s videos.
Worst 90s music videos. And Vanilla Ice and I Love You. Go watch it. Go listen to the episode,
Joey Lawrence. Oh, fuck yeah.
Go listen. It's hilarious. But I love you.
Yeah, and the rest of their episodes too. Like they have a great podcast. Really funny.
Great podcast. And then next was, I think these were tied.
I think this one was probably one of my favorite episodes to record. Just because it was fun.
Yes, because it was us back in the day. It was our favorite movie.
So the episode's called To the Louvre. And it was where we talked about our 3 movies that we watched incessantly over and over and over and over again in 2004.
Yeah, the summer of 04, just incessantly.
Oh my God.
There was no other shows, movies, anything that were played during that summer except for these
3 movies, I think, plus Mean Girls. Well, a little bit later on in the year when that was like just on a rotation.
There was Euro Trip, obviously.
Which of these 3 movies do you want to watch tonight? Well, whatever. Right. We'll just watch another one later. Exactly. So it was Euro Trip, Grind, and Dazed and Confused.
Yes, so they were all just movies we could quote them. I had never watched a movie on commentary up until this point, until we had watched, because we had seen Grind so many fucking times. We knew the lines, and we're like, well, let's just put on the commentary
to see what they have to say.
And then we started to watch it with commentary all the time, because the commentary was so fucking hilarious. And then I think we started to get to know the commentary lines. It was bad, guys, but it was amazing.
In Grind on the commentary, the guy that plays Matt, I forget his name in real life.
Mike Vogel.
Yeah, no, Matt.
Oh, Matt. Vince Villeneuve. Or
yeah, him. Yeah. Where he's like, Casey, is this too big? Casey, is this too big? And it turns out, yes, it was too big, but they still put it in the movie.
And then when Adam Brody, when the slug bug, and they hit him, and he's like, and he said, like, in his comments, he's like, that really actually fucking hurt.
You can see in his face
how hard they punch him.
Or also where he says, I need my special pillow, Eric. When they were kidnapping him, that was an ad lib.
Yeah. Which I've been listening to the OC, Welcome to the OC Bitches, and apparently that's all he does. That's all he does. It's just ad libs. It's hilarious. Because she's always just like, I'm pretty sure that was that, but of course. So
I love when like we figure out which ones are ad libs. Those are always the funniest scenes when people ad lib stuff. Yeah. So what was this one tied with?
This one was tied with it. This changed because the Brittany has now moved down. Oh, it actually didn't do it. So with our Thank God It's Friday, our TGIF episode, which was actually a very new episode.
New. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that one's right up there, since that one was only released like a couple of weeks back.
Number 3. That was recorded on January 9th. Recorded on January 9th. Because remember, that was the day that Bob Saget had passed, and we had recorded it before we found out.
The morning. Yes.
And so for it to be like top 3 already,
right?
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Like, that was too like it was
fucking thanks.
I guess that was just a really good topic. So maybe we need to find more of these ones.
Also, feel like I have to give a shout out to Formidable Opponents for giving us a shout out for that episode on one of their episodes.
This is true as well. Yes,
So thanks, guys, to the South. Thank you, friends. Yes.
Because they were talking about because of course Randall, being the older Gen Xer, was the only one that remembered the 10 of us. And I asked my dad about that show, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I remember. Like, he was a bigger guy, or basketball. This." I was like, "I'm glad you remember it, Dad, because none of us young kids remembered it."
The picture that you posted of the 10 of us didn't
jog a memory. Me neither.
Nope, me neither.
Nothing. So we just.
Sorry, Randall.
Sorry, Randall. It is what it is. And then our next episodes are again kind of tied. So this was a 3-way sort of tie. Was Baby One More Time, which was the one about Britney Spears.
Yep.
Our Super Sweet 16, and then our Christmas Eve Traditions episode. We're all tied.
All 3 were tied for number 4?
Yep.
And even Christmas Eve Tradition was fairly new.
Yep. Well, so we had a lot of people that were in that one, so I think that just, them listening to
that was featuring our significant others, Aaron and Kevin.
And then all of our podcaster friends. I asked them to give us their traditions of Christmas, and just seeing what Christmas is like for people all around. And so, those are kind of our top 5, because I guess we do have a 2-way tie for 3rd, and then a 3-way tie for 4th, 5th. So those are our top episodes. Like I said, we thank you very much. Like I didn't realize the TGIF episode was going to be that that
well received.
Yeah, like I said, it was only not even a month ago, and that one is already up there with the tops. So
because I think that one probably resonates the most with their demographic audience.
Well, not even that. Like I think also because I think my dad said he might have listened to that one and stuff. So I think because our parents also may have. Yeah. Some of the older people find it, and they're like, I remember TGIF. Like, I'm going to listen to that.
Well, I mean, it aired in 89, so yeah, right? I'd hope. Well,
and their kids were watching it on Friday nights. They were probably I knew my dad was there watching it with us every Friday.
1989, my parents were 34. I'm 38.
Don't even get me started on that analogy.
So speaking
those are millennial moments for sure. I think
it's time for our millennial moment.
So, I think I'm gonna take the one that my sister posted to us. Because again, this is our anniversary episode, so we're gonna take all of everybody. And since she was on our whatchamacallit episode, the Drop Dead Gorgeous episode.
Gorgeous.
I was like, it escaped me for a moment. So her millennial moment is that she's been watching, I know you probably see it on her Facebook. She watches The Masked Singer.
Yep.
And
oh yes,
all of
this post, yes.
So she put it as all of her favorite female vocalists are now contestants on The Masked Singer. So she mentioned Leanne Rimes, Jewel, Natasha Bedingfield, Charlotte Church in the UK version, JoJo. I also was like, well, it's not just the girls, Danny. It's also, so basically we're old enough to have our pop stars as kind of has-beens on this Masked Singer show. So like Nick Carter was on there, Jesse McCartney is on there. All of these people that were famous for us are now kind of these Masked Singer. Not that they're has-beens or washed up, but they're just coming on as these Masked Singer people who are supposed to be usually not currently famous people. So that was her millennial moment, that all of our like teen idols are now old enough to be on this Masked Singer and, you know, reflecting on their past.
I would relate to it as being my parents and having, say, when Donnie and Marie had their own talk show.
Yes.
They were famous when they were younger, teenagers, early 20s, and then they kind of went away, and then they came back and they did that talk show. Like they kind of came back. It's kind of like one of like, that's how I would kind of relate it.
And so that was her millennial moment.
Well,
what is your
I think
moment?
the one I can probably combine two of these four into one. So I've been listening to a lot of Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast. And so because Jackass Forever just came out in February, we decided to introduce the kids to Jackass. Yeah, I had to walk out of a few scenes because I wasn't sitting through there watching that with the kids. And I don't care what age they are. It's fucking awkward. Sorry.
I don't blame you. There's things that I still don't think from with my mom watching or with Kevin's parents. I'm like,
and this is coming from someone who watched Showgirls at 10.
Oh, I know, me too. Like
with their parents.
The things that me and my sister used to watch with our kids. Like we saw same thing, Striptease. It wasn't Showgirls, but I remember watching Striptease quite often on the pay-per-view box because it was a good movie.
Yeah. So we were watching like the newer, like the old Jackasses and things like that, and then I start to watch some videos of Steve-O's Wild Ride. Did you ever show them Viva La Bam? Because that was like Jackass. I don't think I have yet. I'm not sure if we have. We could have.
Because I was thinking you might have.
We might have, because it's a more mild.
Right. That might have been
Jackass.
I figured that would have been a good starting point before Jackass.
Whatever. But
no.
Anyway.
Head feet. Why not? Jump head feet.
Yeah.
All right.
So
no worries.
watching them in Jackass 1, Jackass 2, 3, and 3.5. They're all 20s, mid to late 20s, early 30s, around there. Mid to late 20s. And watching
Johnny Knoxville recently.
Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville, okay, and the rest of them, like Chris Pontius and Danger Aaron and Novak and all them, like
rest in peace, Ryan Dunn. Though we love you and we wish you could still be in the new one.
Don't fucking even.
Anyways,
it's been 11 years and I'm still not fucking over it. Okay,
right.
I watched a tribute to him on YouTube yesterday, and I sat there and fucking bawled my eyes out for 42 minutes.
Aww.
I had whatever.
I like that you knew 42 minutes too. That's what made me like giggle a little.
That's how long the tribute was, and I cried the whole fucking
okay. I was like, how
and
I
feel so bad for Bam. And okay, getting back to my millennial moment.
Yep.
Watching them in the younger ones, seeing them now, gray haired, whatever. I'm just like, they got so much hotter as they got older. Man, are they sexy as silver foxes?
Did you see about also the Eminem memes as well after Super Bowl? Like Eminem, everyone's like
so hot now.
Right? I was like, how is it that like with age, all these? But they say it's like a fine wine. You tend to get better looking with age sometimes.
50 Cent, he got jacked. Like he's always been jacked, but he got jacked.
Well, let's be real. It also didn't help.
Snoop Dogg and Dre still look the same fucking age.
Right. It also didn't help that Fitty was upside down. So if there was any excess stuff, it would have made it look like he was bigger up top too. But yeah, he was jacked. But he's got a few like business endeavors now, so he's probably got all this extra time.
I also think that I am the only one in the entire planet who was not shocked to see him, because I thought he was going to be there the whole fucking time.
I think that's
because I completely forgot about Kendrick Lamar because I don't know who he is.
Right? He was. I state that he's only there for Gen Z, because other than that, like no one in the millennials knew who he. Like they know who he is, but they don't want.
Like I know he's only 4 years younger than me. He's 34 years old.
Absolutely.
I have no idea who he is. I'm sorry, Kendrick. I don't know who you are.
I know one or two songs because they would do them in do them in dance class, but that's about it.
Okay, but that being said, one of my other millennial moments was watching movies from like the late 90s or whatever, and the actors in that movie who are like 20 years older than me, watching them now, finding them actually attractive now versus that I thought they were like just old and gross back then.
Or sometimes even when you watch the movies now as a 30-year-old, you're like, man, they were attractive back then. I was just too young to notice it as well. But yes, as they've gotten older in their 50s, because whether it's I don't know if it's the lines or if it's the facial hair or something that they do, but yeah, just
like it's kind of a weird example, but watching Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones, he's an attractive guy.
He is an attractive
There's a lot of moments in that movie where I'm like, damn, bro, you pretty handsome.
And Rip Torn, also not a terribly bad looking older man. Like
who's O'Houlihan? Coach
Patches O'Houlihan?
Patches O'Houlihan? Oh yeah.
Dip, dodge, duck, dive, dodge. 5D's a dodgeball. Which I
drink my own urine, mainly because I like the taste.
Sterile, but I like the taste. Oh, Rip Torn. Oh.
But yeah, like that's my millennial moment. Just
right.
Like people who I thought were old 20, 30 years ago that I find attractive.
And you know, also on that same thing about like, I've noticed it, like I've gone back and watching some of these shows and these movies and watching them as about to turn 37 in May, but a 37-year-old woman. And I'm looking back at these when I watched these as a teen and I see them and I'm just like, he's only 27 in this movie. I'm now 10 years older than him. But when I was younger, I thought he was like 50 in my mind. Like, old people seemed so much older to you when you were younger, but now that you're like past their age, you're like, yeah, they're not even that old.
I have recently taken to kind of relating everything to the timeline of How I Met Your Mother. So when How I Met Your Mother starts, it always starts with kids, this, it says year 2030, right? Yeah. In the very last episode, you find out that it's been 6 years since mom has passed, making her death in 2024. That's in 2 years.
Oh God.
And when you think about it, they only met in 2013. They've only been together as long as Aaron and I have been.
Wow.
Well, a year less, because we got together in 2012.
But then that's clearly why he went back to Robin.
He was always meant to be with Robin.
No, I know he was.
But that's not what the show was about.
Yeah, like, it was How I Met Your Mother, but you always knew he was going to end up with Robin.
Okay, yes, it was always about Robin. It was always about how he was going to get together with Robin. But in the process, it was how he met the mother of his children, fulfilled his destiny to be a dad and a good husband and blah, blah, blah with the right girl. But then he still ended up with
his perfect girl
as well.
Yeah.
Like at the end of their, because the timing was never right. The chemistry was there. Because if you think about it, in the episode where Punchy gets married, they talk about you have to have chemistry and one other thing, timing. Robin and Ted always had chemistry. The timing was never right because she never wanted kids.
Yeah. And then not only that, like as we get older, I've noticed life goes in phases. Yeah. You have phases of your life. You could be married and so blissfully happily married for someone for 10, 20, 15 years. And guess what? You say you got married at 20, you're now only 35 if you got divorced or if they passed away. You're honestly going to spend the rest of your life like, no, life goes in phases. You fulfilled your dream. Yep. Now it's time to maybe go and do a different dream.
It's like what Barney says. They didn't have an unsuccessful marriage. They happened to have a very successful marriage that only happened to last 3 years.
And
right?
That's the thing. Some things are only meant to be a certain time frame.
To any of our listeners out there that 100% completely disagree with me and absolutely hated the ending and you thought it was stupid and dumb and whatever, that's cool. That's your opinion. Right? You can have it. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I think the show ended the way it was supposed to always end.
Yeah.
They had that ending from season 1. If you watch all of the hundreds of hours of special behind the scenes features.
And remember, Lindy has rewatched this like 21 times, so she knows what she's talking about.
I am on season 6 for the 28th time.
28th, sorry. I thought it was 27th. So
give or take.
Yeah.
Give or take. Anniversary episode. Woo!
Oh, it's tangents. This is how we go, guys. Tangents.
Yeah, tangents. It's been a year. You guys know this.
You know,
we tend to get sidetracked.
Yeah. So I actually also did put a note in here too, being like, friends, if you've missed our first few episodes, you can find them on Spotify, on YouTube, and on our website. So go and listen to those first 7 or 8 episodes if you haven't.
Okay.
They're fun. They're hilarious. And I'm trying. I will try and get them on Apple Podcasts as soon as possible. Yep. But in the meantime, go and check them out anywhere else. So our top platforms, there's not many platforms that people really do listen to podcasts on. There's usually your main ones, obviously. And then there's some other random. So that's it. Our top platforms. So number 1 is Spotify, because it's got everything, and
it's Spotify. Yeah,
Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, you probably have Apple or iTunes. So it's one or the other at this point, really. Although I hear a lot more Americans use Amazon Music versus Canadians. I hear. Sure. I just happen to hear a lot of people like, oh, it's Amazon Music, and I'm like, no.
I have it with my subscrition, but I don't use it.
Well, that's good. Most people up here I know have it with a subscription, but they don't actually use it. Whereas down in the States, I feel like they do a little bit. I think you probably, if they do use it, they've probably got the Amazon smart speaker. I can't remember what it's called because I have an Apple.
Like the Alexa thing?
One. Alexa, that's it. I didn't fucking remember her name.
My name is Alexa, not Siri.
Right. I say, hey, Google. So that's what I do. So that's why I'm like, I don't remember what she is. Alexa.
I just hit the microphone button.
Right. We have 3 speakers in the house, so it's easy. We have 1 on each level, so it's easy to just be like. So then the second one, obviously, like I said, Apple Podcasts. These 2 bounce back and forth, depending on the day of how many people are listening to on Apple and then Google Podcast is actually number 2. And then there's Unknown as number 4, so we don't really know where those are coming from, guys.
We have no idea.
And then number 5 is Chrome. So a bunch of you are listening to it through, I guess, our website.
I didn't know there were so many options.
Right?
Yeah.
There's also
that's my lack of technology knowledge, though.
There's also
I'm just not a techie in any way.
Yeah, there's like Podbean and podcasts or things. There's a bunch of different other ones, but
so listener favorites. So we had asked a bunch of you guys to submit your favorite episodes of ours onto our Instagram, and these were some of the results. So Lindsay, who was in our back to school episode, and Natalie from Men I've Tolerated Before, they both voted for our Drop Dead Gorgeous episode, which was co-hosted by none other than Stephanie's sister Danny
in Mount Rose, Minnesota, because we love Minnesota. Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
He's from Minnesota. My baby. His high school mascot was a hug.
So much Minnesota. When they went to Minnesota in that show, I was like, yes.
The amount of times he disses Green Bay, I fucking love it. Love it.
Even though it's your team.
Like when Lily made him go to the Packer shop on his way home from from getting kicked off the airplane in the final season.
Yeah.
He, lied to her about something, and she made him go to the Packer shop and wear all this Packer stuff, and I'm just fucking loving it. Because I have to go to that store.
Right? Because we know Minnesota and,
I have to go to Wisconsin, and I have to go to a Green Bay store.
That bitch from Wisconsin.
Oh, I would.
They actually say that in the movie. I remember that.
Yeah, I would have been wearing a Green Bay shirt today, or like on this video had we recorded this yesterday. Like we tried.
My internet was not, guys. I was over.
Oh, it was just not in the cards for us to record yesterday.
10 minutes.
Property of Joey t-shirt now.
10 minutes and my internet disconnected me 4 times within 10 minutes, guys. It was not happening yesterday. But today we're actually doing pretty good, which I'm excited about. It hasn't conked out on us once, guys. Yes. So our next favorite episode came from Tobin tonight and Prime from Prime Nostalgia podcast. They were both liked our Christmas Eve traditions episode. I know Tobin was saying that he likes Christmas. Like Christmas is just like me, kind of like one of our sort
he
of
also stated that it was his narcissism because he was in the episode too, right?
I believe
that what he said.
I'm pretty sure. Was it him or was that?
No, I think it was Tobin.
Okay.
Because he mentioned how he can't find his episode on our list, but it's on there, bro.
Oh, it was. I know. I sent it to him. Actually, I think I sent him like a screenshot. It's like, nope. See, it's right there. It's right there.
The YTV one. Shout out, Tobin.
So go check out. Also, check out our YTV because that was like Canada.
That was a very good, informative episode as well.
Yeah, like YTV was like the kind of other than Family Channel. It was the Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Family Channel was Canadian Disney, and YTV was like American or Canadian Nickelodeon. However, we didn't get all that with Amanda Bynes in that show, which made me very sad. I always wished we had that one.
Which one?
All that with Kenan Thompson, Amanda Bynes,
that
and
was on Family Channel.
No, not when I watched it.
I watched it on Family Channel.
I have never seen an episode of that show because it was never on.
I watched it all the time.
Unless it was on when I was older and I stopped watching Family Channel, but it was never on when we were kids.
I remember it being on when I was probably about 16, 17 in there.
Okay. So I was going to say that's when I was not watching Family Channel at that point. But like when we were young, when it was like out, like when The Good Burger came out and that movie and everything, like we were trying.
Oh, you mean when we were the appropriate age to be watching those children's shows?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I never watched children's shows when I was the appropriate age. I always watched it when I was older because it was just more fun.
Right.
I just binged like 4 or 5 episodes of the Smoggies.
Oh, the Smoggies.
Which I need to say, I have to say this because it irked me so much now. I watch the Smoggies and then the opening theme song, I love fucking this greatest theme song ever. The Sun Tots are all supposed to be about environmentalists and what's good for the environment and blah, blah. What do they do in the theme song opening? They release helium balloons into the air.
This was the late 80s, early 90s, and we weren't quite aware of the helium balloon thing back then. So I understand what you're saying. Bad Sun Tots, but they didn't have the knowledge we have now.
No.
They were still doing it. They were still doing it out of the ignorance.
Yeah, but seriously, Smoggy's great fucking cartoon. So moving on. So then Shalina of Everything 90s podcast, her favorite episode was the Britney Spears episode, the Baby One More Time episode, which I need to agree. It is also one of my favorites.
Because it's Britney, and it was just after was it just after or just before?
It was
Free Britney?
Right before.
Okay. She
got her verdict of her freedom.
Conservacy.
It was like a week or two before her conservatorship was settled.
That's why I wasn't sure if we did it just before or just after, because I know we did it like right on the cusp.
I know we made a comment about it, like we're really hoping that all of like the judge and everything rules in her favor, and like we wish her the best of luck. And so it was right before that, and I think it was like a week after we released the episode was when she was freed.
Oh, okay.
Free, like she was, but she was technically a prisoner.
Released, she was released from her conservatorship. Yes. But yeah, she wasn't freed from prison, although like I said, she was freed from the prison of her family, but that's another thing. So
so thanks so much guys for your submissions. Oh, did I miss one?
Yeah. Well, no, we do have one more, but also I just wanted to also say shout out to Shalina, and she was actually our very first guest ever on our podcast. She was the
very first one to reach out to us.
Like as soon as we like put our first episode up, she was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like and she reached out to us, and we love you, Shalina, and we love your podcast, and we will definitely have y'all on again. Don't worry, guys, in year 2.
I remember when we were recording with her and stuff. Aaron was saying he's just like, "Don't corrupt her. She sounds so sweet and innocent. Don't corrupt her." I was like, what? We're not teenagers anymore. It's not like we were going to intentionally do that.
Right. And then so lastly, which is again another one of the, that's why I said I wasn't sure if it was Tobin who said this or if it was these guys. The Formidable Opponents guys said the 90s soundtrack was their favorite episode.
They were on it.
Because they were on it. So again, I wasn't sure if it was him or Tobin that had said who was the narcissistic. So I think, so those are kind of like our kind of top favorite listener, I guess, episodes. Mm-hmm. What would be your favorite episode of all time?
Ooh. Well, like I already said, my favorite one to record was to the Louvre.
Yep.
And Crossroads. I have to say, like, Crossroads was probably one of my favorite because I got to talk to my high school BFF again.
Right?
I missed her.
It's one of those where like you hadn't talked for years and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so.
And like nothing changed. Like it was almost like nothing changed. So like I think that one and our Britney episode, I think, was my favorite. Which
lesson to people out there, just because you had a friend that you don't talk to anymore doesn't mean you still can't reach out to them and have a good relationship with them. Like just because you may have drifted apart because of life doesn't mean you're not still friends and you not still talk to each other. So reach out to that person in high school if you still love them and miss them. Go right ahead, because you might have a great chat.
I've been meaning to talk to you, Ashley, and Mo and Kate about like a girls' either night or like a Zoom call or something, because it's been a long time.
It's been way too long. I know.
Me too. So what was your favorite episode?
My favorite episode? I'm just trying to go back through because I'm like, there's so many, and I just when you listen and you edit a lot of them, it's just everything kind of runs together. I think I did like our trailer one a little bit because it was just
I love Katie that one too.
Cricket, and it was again, it was just another
so many stories,
right?
Yeah, I think I can't see. No, you can't have a favorite. You've got to have like maybe your top 3.
Your top 3, yeah. Like the Y2K bug was kind of funny too. Doing the Y2K bug.
So then what about what we learned or our favorite memory of the last year?
I've learned technology and how to
I
edit
have
it.
not. Well, that's not true.
definitely-
I did learn like the editing of the Audacity and like all of that. I did learn. I got a little bit more comfortable with that, but yeah, I haven't done it in a long time. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Right. I have extra time. It is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, so just kind of just learning a new skill, having a new also I don't know if
like
this
having a
helps.
hobby. I like having a hobby. I
Right?
like having something that is not just work and home. Like I like having something else
to look forward to every
Yes.
week or every 2 weeks or whatever when we do our
And I gotta
recordings.
say, narcissism coming out in me, I enjoy the sound of my own voice.
Yes, this one I learned very early on, and looking at herself because she asks me to upload the videos a lot too.
Yep,
So
yep.
I'm just like, the first thing I notice, I'm like, she likes to listen to herself a lot already.
I do. I don't know what it is, and like I
hate my voice, so I'm just like,
thought
no.
I thought I would sit there and cringe at the sound of my own voice or cringe at the sight of me on video and stuff. But the more I'm watching, I'm just like, I like watching me.
Yeah. The more I get used, like the first few times of edit, because I used to work at a call center and I'd have to hear like they do like team things and you have to hear your voice, and I was like, ugh, I always hated it. Mm-hmm. And then the first couple times with editing, I was kind of like, oh, I hate my voice. Oh, but then as I've gone on more, I'm not so like hating my voice as much anymore. But I'm still just like, eh. And then I also noticed that I edit them out a lot, but there's a lot of times where I'm trying to like make a thought or something and it just comes out as, and then the sentence comes out and I was like, what the fuck did I just try to say there?
I do this a lot.
Yes,
I stroke my hair
a lot.
so much.
I do this one too. I don't know why I sit with my face like this quite often.
Oh, and the way I talk like this.
Yep.
How has no one called me out on that? That's so annoying. Dudes, listeners, sorry. Holy shit.
So, what we've learned from this is what our annoying tics are. Yeah. Another thing also as a tick is like a lot I do the just before like I say a sentence, and so I have to cut out
I think
those
that's
little...
a lot of people.
I do, it is. And then also, of course, a lot of people, because we're a free-form podcast, so we don't plan what we're saying, so we do a lot of
we're a conversationalist podcast. We just converse. Like,
so we do get a lot of
a topic and we talk about it.
We get a lot of in it just because of trying to, you're just trying to think of yourself. So, but obviously when you have those more professional, when they're talking like this and it's like that and they're reading a script, you don't get those as many. So I try to cut as many of them out when it's a standalone guys, but I'm sorry if I don't get all of them.
That was a pretty sexy sex phone operator voice there.
My ASMR voice. Ooh, feel the microphone. Yeah, right. Exactly. ASMR.
I can't stand ASMR.
I can't either, but Danielle's right into it and I don't get it. I can't. I
can't. Okay. Next was, what was our favorite moment of the year?
Just our
favorite memory.
Another thing I learned also, just to back on the back thing I've learned also on top of our tics, is that, okay, so when I was in high school, I wanted to go to Fanshawe for music industry arts because I wanted to be like a music producer or like a video producer or something like that. So luckily doing this podcast has kind of like sort of brought back that like, oh, this is what I wanted to do. Like, this is fun. I like this. So that was another kind of fun thing that I sort of learned through all of this. It kind of brought back that like passion that I sort of wanted to do outside of high school, but then life got in the way. And
never too late, Steph. Never too late. Jane Lynch was 42 when she got her start.
No, I'm aware. That's why I said like this is just the intro. Yeah. This is the beginning. So it's
So favorite memories. Mine hands down, Ed the Sock.
Yeah,
I was so excited to talk to him that after we were done, I was so mad at myself because I got tongue-tied. I lost my train of thought. I couldn't
like when you see a celebrity.
I thought of so many more things to ask him, and I felt like such a fucking moron. And like I embarrassed myself in front of him. But like, you know how like you overanalyze your recording like after the fact, you're like, oh, I wish I didn't say that, or I wish I had said this, and I'm just like, it was my favorite memory, but it was also my most cringy one because
Lydia does not like to watch cringy, embarrassing moments, so this is hard for her.
Oh my god! If I'm watching something and someone intention and not like jackass kind of embarrassing, but like whatever.
Goes to ask someone else and it's an embarrassing situation or something.
Yeah, like it just, I can't watch embarrassing moments. And that I found to be like, I can't even listen to the episode because
she's too embarrassed of herself and she just can't handle it.
Like I have no words. But it was also it was my favorite memory of the past year though, because being able to talk to him was holy shit, like a fucking Canadian lady boner. Like,
right? Like it was, and it was also very early in our podcast where we were still figuring out our stuff out, our flow, how we were doing this, what we were gonna do. Like,
not to mention, we were his very first fulfilled obligation from his New Music Nation. Like we were the very first one that he's still going through. He's still doing it. Yeah.
Kevin just got an email the other day about the VJ for the day. So,
nice.
And that was almost a year ago, guys. So, and he because he bid on it the day that we recorded it because he's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So he bid on the VJ for the day, and that's still almost it's been taking a while for it to go through, and we were that early, so we were like super on it, which was amazing. Because we could have not had him till like now if we waited till later or something or whatever. But it was
so good on you, Steph. That was all you.
Right, that was all me.
Yeah, that was all you.
But yeah, that was definitely one of those fun episodes.
And then also I feel like it goes without mentioning the friends we've met through podcasting with all of our collaborations and everything
on Instagram and like all the friends who just kind of like and it's funny because
all the people we've met.
Right, being a millennial for the longest time, like it was weird for me to realize like having online friends. Like I was never a big gamer, so the whole online friends thing was always just like that just seems so weird. It
seemed weird to me. Yeah.
Right. But then now all of a sudden, I know obviously this COVID has forced everybody online. And I know we kind of had online with socials, but this was like what forced everybody to communicate through digitally. And so now it's like, I literally like, I have these friends that are like online or like things like talking with them. So it's definitely like opened my eyes to, or like the thing about like, you can have just friends that are digital friends that you could spend so many time talk about everything about them and they're still just as good of a friend as someone you have that's like in the same city as you or whatever. And it was that was an interesting learning experience for me because like I said, we're millennials, we're so used to tangibleness. So to me it was weird, like my friends are my friends. It just felt weird that I was like, oh okay, so that was weird.
It's weird that we have friends that we've never personally like in person met.
Yes, but we've had Zooms with them, we've chatted with them so much. But it's like, we've never actually and physically met the person.
Anyway, moving on.
So
anniversary, woohoo!
Woohoo! 1 year, woo! Cheers to 10 more years now. Right?
Cheers to however long we want to do this for.
Oh my god, 10 more years, I'd be fucking 47. Oh my gosh.
Bitch, I will be turning 39 this year. So in 10 years from now, I'm going to be fucking absolutely freaking out about turning 50. Because I'm already freaking out about turning 40, okay? And I just watched that episode of Full House today where DJ turned 40 and she comes in the kitchen and does like a high kick and she's like, I'm 40! And I'm like, yo, settle down, bitch. Not all of us are that excited, okay?
You need to watch.
Not all of us are fucking trim and toned and like look like her.
You need to watch This Is 40. This is 40 with Leslie, like I think it's the 40-year-old virgin. No, not that one. Knocked up like but it's like the two main ones.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen the preview for that. It's on my list.
I watched it recently, like being in the, almost approaching 40 watching it. And I was like, oh gosh. So any other, I don't know, favorite memories, things we've learned, other things for our anniversary?
Anything you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the boy band episodes. I'm looking forward to talking about NSYNC and O-Town and Backstreet Boys and Hanson and Muppets and my experience at all those concerts. And yes. Did you know? Okay, I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't know why it came up. Out of all of the concerts I've been to, you are the one person I've been to the most with. We've been to like 11 concerts together. Okay, because we went to 2 NSYNC concerts. Okay. We went to 2 Muppets. We went to a Hanson. I don't think we went to a Britney.
No, I only saw Britney on the circus tour. That was the first time I saw Britney.
Snow Jam.
Yeah.
2 Wake Stocks.
Yeah.
A Goldfinger.
Good Charlotte.
And if you want to... No, I never saw Good Charlotte.
No, sorry, Yellow Card.
Oh, right. Yellow Card.
And Taste of Chaos.
Taste of Chaos. Okay, so we're at 11. Also, if you count it, even though we never watched it, Real Big Fish had 22 because I got kicked out because I lipped off a security guard. because he took my pipe that I had just bought for $75, but he gave it back when he kicked me out. So that's 12.
I feel like there might have been some other ones that we went to, like when we were 2021 or whatever like that.
We went to 2 yellow cards, did we not? One in London that I drove to, and one that we took the bus to that my dad picked us up and took us to the bus stop. He took us to Pickle Barrel for dinner.
Was that a yellow card concert or was that something else?
I think so. I think it was yellow card.
I always remember
they played at the Boathouse in Toronto, and they played at the at some club, the Denim Club in London. I drove to the London club, the club in London, the Denim Club, when we saw yellow card when Ryan kicked that heckler out of the crowd.
Okay.
Do you remember that? And we didn't get to see the whole show because it ran late and we had to go catch our last bus.
I remember there was one where
I didn't drive to that one.
I remember there was one where we bought sweaters from it. I just remember that.
Yeah, I don't know where my sweater is. I might have donated it or it got wrecked or lost or something. I lost it. And I still have my toque somewhere too that I have.
And then it was Jordan I saw Good Charlotte with at Arrow Hall.
And then there was Simple Plan and Marianne's Trench with Helena.
And then there was another one with Helena.
I didn't go with Helena. I don't think I went to a concert with Helena.
I'm pretty sure you did because I thought there's a picture of you. I'm doing her hair, and I thought you were in the. I don't know if it might have been a different Simple Plan or something like that. But I was in.
I might have just been there while you guys were getting ready. I
was inside the auditorium, and there's me pulling her hair back into a ponytail. It was at the Odd, but I don't know who it was. And then I remember because
Monique, you and Monique went to see. It was Simple Plan, All Time Low. Marianne's Trench, and one more. We wear Kids with Crowns, or
These Kids Wear Crowns.
These Kids Wear Crowns.
Yeah.
And then we saw Sum 41, and that's when I caught.
So that
what's his face pick. Yes, that would be the one.
That was the one with Helena. Yeah.
That would be the one. So it's been about 14 concerts we've seen together. Because that was the one where Dave threw his guitar pick for his bass and it landed in my bra. It hit me in the chest, went down my shirt and landed in my bra.
No, I went with Jordan to see the Used, the Boxcar Racer the first time. Because I know I've seen the Used they're the artist that I've seen the most, which is hilarious.
I'm going to say NSYNC's the one I've seen the most because I've seen them 3 times.
Well, I think I saw the Used with, so I saw it once with Boxcar Racer. I saw it with you at Taste of Chaos. I went once by myself for their 20th anniversary of their first album at the Danforth. Oh my God, I felt so old at that one.
Didn't we go to see Used twice? Didn't we see the Used with Taste of Chaos? Twice. And then they were also touring with My Chemical Romance because we hadn't saw them with Ashley. Because she was dating Garrett at the time.
I know they played at Taste of Chaos together, but I think we did see them twice. I feel like we did see them twice anyways.
because the Used were touring with MCR. Yeah. And at the time, our friend Ashley, who lived in England, she was what's the lead singer of MCR? Jared Way?
She didn't live in England at the time. She was still living in
this was before she went to England. Yeah. But she was dating him at the time.
Yeah.
And so we went to I think she got us tickets or something, or we just had tickets and then we found out that she was dating him or
something.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, so it's been like 15. We've seen like 15 shows together. It's weird.
And I mean, if you want to classify like some of the time, like when we met.
With Fifi Dobson, the free. The Canada
Day, where it was like Treble Charger, Fifi, and all that on Canada Day. And then so with the Used, I remember I saw them. They came to the where was it? Not the Wax, Elements.
Yes,
a few years back on my birthday. So I was like, that's a fucking awesome. So me and Kate went to that one, and then like I said, I went and saw them on their 20th anniversary of their first album in the Danforth. Mm-hmm. Saw them with you twice. Saw them with George. So I've seen like.
Oh my God, no,
7 times.
We've seen Simple Plan together twice too because we saw them once at Elements and once at the Odd.
Oh, okay.
So we're at like 16.
We're at a lot. I think that's.
So I think that's our time.
I think that's our 1 year.
That'll be the end of our 1 year anniversary episode.
So thanks again, everybody, for listening to us. Give it out to your friends. Keep them coming.
Spread the word. Subscribe, like, review.
Give us comments. Send us your feedback. Send us emails. Go to our website at millennialspod.com.
Suggestions for episodes or topics. What do you want to talk about? If we got any kind of facts wrong, well, too fucking bad.
We still want to know, but we can't change it in the recording, guys. So either way.
Jokes. I joke, I kid.
So on that note, we appreciate all of you for listening to us. Thank you for joining us this past year and listening to us, and keep listening to us for the next however long we decide to do this, but we've still got at least a couple of years probably left in us.
picture on my TV that just showed up is me, Danielle, and Taryn at the trailer. I'm wearing my Moffat's tank top.
Oh my gosh.
If a laptop wasn't so, yeah, I would turn it around.
You turn it. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right, well, you can find us on Instagram, Turn of the Millennials Pod. You can find us on our website at www.millennialspod.com.
Or you can just listen to the bumper that Steph's going to put on to the end of this episode.
And yes, like I said, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please go and find our first 7 or 8 episodes.
Yes.
Either on our website or on YouTube, because they are on YouTube as well. Listen to them because they are hilarious, guys, and we want to get those ones up as well, too. And on that note,
yes, that was shameless self-promotion, by the way.
You always got to shamelessly self-promote yourself in these things. Come on. No one else is going to do it for us.
All right. And with that being said, peace out, y'all. Have a good one.
And we will catch you on the flip-flop. Bye.
Late.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you liked it, be sure to check out our previous episodes on our website at www.millennialspod.com. And also you can check them out on Spotify, Anchor, Google, or Apple Podcasts. While you're there, hit the follow and subscribe buttons so you can stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. Also, you can follow us on all of the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Turn of the Millennials Pod, and like us on Facebook to leave a comment and a review. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you next episode.